Good evening, and thank you for joining our show. This is CNRP-America live TV show. This program is called Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. My name is Linda Wu. Today is March 15, 2022. Again, welcome. I know you have many choices of live show, but thank you for joining our show tonight. Before we start our show, I would like our audience to join me in support ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Your support is very important in order to find justice for victims of backstate killing in Cambodia. Until now, hundreds of victims have never received any justice. So please watch a video clip on ending impunity for justice in Cambodia by Her Excellency Mosakur, thanking you for supporting, signing, and also for sharing the petitions. And the petition is still going on. So our campaign, ending impunity for justice in Cambodia, is at change.org. As of today, we have almost 113,000 signatures. So please continue to support and also to join me to support ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Together we fight to end impunity.
អីប៉ាធ្វើល្អបានគេសម្រាប់
រដ្ឋប្រហារថ្ងៃទី5ទី6ជីវវិទ្យាត្រូវបានថ្មកំភ្លើងបានសម្រាប់
នេះជាប់ពាក់ព័ន្ធនឹងរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលនៅអ្នកស្រីពីសិទ្ធិ
លោកបណ្ឌិតកម្មលីត្រូវបានថ្មកំភ្លើងបានសម្រាប់
3 គ្រាប់ការពីកដាលមួយប៉ុន្តែធ្លាក់បេះដូងលែងដើរដល់សគុតភ្លៀង
ខ្ញុំសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណទៅដល់បងប្អូនដែលបានចូលរួមចុះហត្ថលេខាលើកញត្តិ
យុទ្ធនាការបញ្ចប់នៃទណ្ឌភាពនៅកម្ពុជា
តាមនិយាយទាំងអស់ពីពេញពិភពលោកបានចូលរួម
ធ្វើនៅកាតព្វកិច្ចដ៏សំខាន់មួយ
ពិសេសយុវជនដែលបានចូលរួមញត្តិបញ្ចប់នៃទណ្ឌភាពនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជារបស់យើង
ហើយក៏ជាលើកទី1នៅក្នុងប្រវត្តិសាស្ត្រដែលបងប្អូនខ្មែរទូទាំងពិភពលោកអាចមានឱកាសចូលរួមស្វែងរកយុត្តិធម៌
ជូនអ្នកដែលបានបាត់បង់ជីវិតទៅ
ហើយនៅពេលនេះញត្តិយើងបានជាង 100000
ដែលញត្តិរបស់យើងគឺមានចំនួន 100000 ជាងហើយ
មិនដែលមានញត្តិណាមានខ្ពស់ដល់ប៉ុណ្ណឹងហើយនៃទណ្ឌភាពនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាដែលយើងចង់បញ្ចប់គឺករណីសម្រាប់ដោយរដ្ឋដូចជាករណីលោកជាវិជាករណីលោកស្រីពិសិដ្ឋលកាចាក់នៃលោកករណីលោកឈុតវិធីករណីនៃបដិជនសុនប៊ុនធឿន
បានសម្លាប់ទង្គាលទៅលើពលរដ្ឋទៅលើអ្នកចេះដឹងទៅលើអ្នកដែលឈឺឆ្អាលរឿងប្រទេសជាតិរឿងនយោបាយ
ហើយបន្តប៉ុណ្ណោះគឺយើងនឹងស្វែងរកយុត្តិធម៌នៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាទៀតមិនឲ្យមានការកាប់សម្លាប់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋក្រៅប្រព័ន្ធច្បាប់នោះទេ
ដូច្នេះយុទ្ធនាការនេះគឺជាយន្តការអន្តរជាតិមួយដើម្បីជួយរកយុត្តិធម៌គាត់តាមរយៈអន្តរជាតិ
ដើម្បីយើងប្តឹងទៅតុលាការអន្តរជាតិជួយរកភាពយុត្តិធម៌ជូនអ្នកដែលបានបាត់បង់ជីវិត
ញត្តិដែលយើងបានមកចុះហត្ថលេខាជាង 100000 នាក់នេះគឺយើងយកទៅអង្គការសហប្រជាជាតិដើម្បីទាមទារឲ្យអង្គការសហប្រជាជាតិដឹងថាត្រូវតែមានការស៊ើបអង្កេតដោយឯករាជ្យលើករណីទាំងអស់នេះ
លុះត្រាតែបងប្អូនយើងទាំងអស់គ្នានៅក្នុងស្រុកនិងក្រៅស្រុកចូលរួមឲ្យបានច្រើនបន្តនៅយុទ្ធនាការបញ្ចប់នៃទណ្ឌភាពនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
ដូច្នេះសូមបន្តចុះញត្តិឲ្យបានច្រើនគ្រប់គ្នាបន្ថែមទៀត
ហើយខ្ញុំសង្ឃឹមថាពុកម៉ែបងប្អូននឹងបន្តចុះញត្តិអនឡាញនេះបន្តទៅទៀត
ដើម្បីឈានទៅរកយុត្តិធម៌ជូនដល់ជនរងគ្រោះឲ្យបញ្ចប់ពីទណ្ឌភាពនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
ដោយគ្រាន់តែបងប្អូនមានត្រឹមតែទូរស័ព្ទដៃមួយគ្រឿងនេះគឺជារឿងអស្ចារ្យមួយនៅក្នុងសតវត្សទី21នាសម័យបច្ចេកវិទ្យានេះ
យើងរួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នៃទណ្ឌភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
ចូលរួមបញ្ចប់នៃទណ្ឌភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅក្នុងកម្ពុជា
យើងចូលរួមបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជាទាំងអស់គ្នា
យើងរួមគ្នាដើម្បីបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
ដើម្បីបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពឲ្យមានយុត្តិធម៌នៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
រួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
រួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
សូមបងប្អូនចូលរួមចុះហត្ថលេខាលើញត្តិរបស់យើងដើម្បីបញ្ចប់វប្បធម៌នីតិរដ្ឋភាពនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាដើម្បីរកយុត្តិធម៌ជូនទៅដល់អ្នកដែលរងគ្រោះ
ចូលរួមបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាចូលរួម
Welcome back. Thank you again for joining our show. Our petitions ending impunity for justice in Cambodia at change.org is still active at change.org. So please, if you have not signed, you have not shared, please help to head to change.org and sign and share the petitions. Our topic today is no resolution in sight for NagaWorld strikers. NagaCorp workers have been striked since December 18. So now it over 3 months, more than 3 months. So, and as of yesterday, the good news, the 8 member of the union leader got released from jail. So that's one of the good news. But at the moment, since December 18, there's no solution. And that is our topic for tonight. I have 2 wonderful guests. One of them, his name is Sophoan Seng. He's been here many times. He's always here, sharing his time, giving us his time, and he is the chairman of the Electoral Commissioner for Overseas Cambodian. Let me bring him out. Chumrip Su and welcome, Mr. Sophoan.
And thank you for having me today.
How are you today?
I'm very good. Yeah, I'm ready today, and I'm thankfulness for another day.
Looking behind you, it's still daylight, right? So Mr. Sophoan is in Canada. So how is Canada doing? How is life in Canada?
Yeah, very good. No snow in here. Typically in Alberta, I'm in Alberta or Canada today. So Alberta typically have a lot of snow, but today is shiny and windy. So in here we have a Chinook wind. So when the Chinook wind blow out, all the ice are melting out. So you can see background. It is almost 7 o'clock now, but sun is still shining.
Good. Same here. It's 6:24 in the West Coast in America, so we still have daylight, so it is really good. And we just changed them on Sunday, so longer time during the day.
Daylight
and
time.
as always, Mr. Sophoan, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I have a brand new guest. He never been here. He been on the Khmer speaking talk show, but this is his first time in English talk show. His name is Sarom Ek. He is CNRPA member in Connecticut, USA. So let me put him on and let me welcome him. Jim Hipso looks around.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing today?
Just good.
How's Connecticut?
For in Connecticut, right now then be beautiful day, and it start, this is hot. Not right now. It's cold. Before it's cold. Right now it start hot. And
so is it almost to spring? So almost no more snow?
Yeah, almost as a spring then.
How's the COVID in Connecticut? In California, as of Monday, many school district does not mandate K to 12 grades wearing masks anymore. So how's Connecticut doing?
Then in Connecticut, I know that right now about the COVID it's recover, and they stop, and then they not the warning about the wear the mask, but they right now if that you go to the school and go to another place, a public place, and in the store they no required wear the mask, but right now no, and it's a worry atmosphere is good for the COVID. Right now they don't about to the COVID.
Yeah, it's not something. It's something of our mind. But we still in California we do still go outside. That's mandate does not mandate mask anymore. I mean, like going into store. So if you wear it, it's fine. You don't wear it, the store will not make you wear them. So that's one of the rule as well. So let me bring back Mr. Sophoan and see if he can let us know regarding Canada. So how's COVID in Canada, Mr. Sophoan?
Yeah, the government has, decreased some restrictions. So the mask is not mandated, and also you can go to store, you can go to public, depend on your choice. You want to wear a mask or you don't want to wear a mask, that's okay. But generally is you go on the bus or in a crowded gathering, you should wear a mask. But in your family or in a store, you can have option not to wear, or you can wear or not. It's not mandated like before. So everything seems like become better. So that the mask and the COVID mandatory seem like not need anymore.
Yes, Sam here. So it's getting better, and we hope that it's going to continue and the infection rates keep going down. And it's been over 2 years, I guess. So we tire it, but at the same time, we need to be careful as well. So thank you, Mr. Sophoan, and thank you, Mr. Sarom, for being here today. Our topic, let me dive into our topic. Our topic is no resolutions in sight for NagaWorld Corp. NagaWorld or NagaCorp strike. Many of our audience know that since December 18, NagaWorld casino worker protest, the union began its strike, and it called for the reinstatement of 365 workers who refused to take the compensations offered in the termination package. And also since then, there are several issues as well relating to servant pay, wages, and contract. It has since then the union leader been arrested as well. So like I said in beginning, as of yesterday, 8 out of the 11 being released. So that's one of the first conditions of the return to negotiation table. So many of you might not know what is NagaWorld or who's NagaWorld currently has 3 casinos in Cambodia, in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and they are building the 3rd one. Mr. Sophoan, can you help our audience to understand or to familiar who is NagaWorld and who own it, and how has it become such a I guess the protest has been since December 18, and now we are at March 15, and there's no resolution yet.
Yeah, that's a good question. NagaWorld is owned by NagaCorp. So NagaCorp is a company that listed as a stock company called NagaCorp. If you search in Google NagaCorp, you will see the NagaCorp stock listed in Hong Kong. So right now it's 5.81 value for Hong Kong dollar. So it's about 0.78 cents. And the company, good or bad, by looking at the stock right now. So NagaCorp stock has been decreased tremendously. So as you click in 1 year, it has been decreased almost 50%. So it means that the company is facing losses a lot. NagaCorp owned by billionaire Malaysian, ethnic Chinese Malaysian. His name is, I think his name Chen Lip Kwong. Chen Lip Kwong. He is 73 years old, and net worth or his asset is $2.5 billion in 2022. So he is the richest person in Malaysia. For me, I think he is the richest person in Southeast Asia. So he also naturalized as a Cambodian citizen as well. So he have a Cambodian passport. So we have I think at least he had 2 nationalities, Malaysian and Cambodian. But most of the time he spent his time in Cambodia. And in Cambodia, Mr. Lip Kong owned NagaWorld. And if you know NagaWorld before was floating in the ship, in the boat, but right now it come to land. And it is iconic NagaWorld because that area is a strategic location in Phnom Penh. And before it was built Cambodia Buddhist Institute, which symbolize the education system in Cambodia, symbolize the struggle for cultural survival for Cambodia. And you can see the Samdech Junat statue in there. But right now they change. The NagaWorld become expanding and very big building. And right now, as you view the scenery in Phnom Penh during that area, you see only NagaWorld. And before they build a statue called billionaire statue, which is Chinese statue. But right now they demolish that statue and they replaced by 2 lions. So 2 lions on the gate. So on the both sides, that lions they have money. They call rich. You know? It symbolizes rich. So as you know, in Cambodia we have about 92 casinos. Even though in Cambodia playing casino is illegal, but there is some clause in the statute, in the law. They said that only allow foreigner to play in the casino, right? So more of the casino they build in a special economic zone along the border, like Cambodia Thailand border and Cambodia Vietnamese border. But NagaWorld is very lucky. Maybe he has a big guy behind. That's why they built in Phnom Penh and they expanded. As you know, from NagaWorld, they will expand to another one, maybe 3 of them. And we can say that it is the richest casino building that entertain everything in Phnom Penh and in another area. And NagaCorp itself, to what the international observer have a lot of research on this company, they are not complying with the Cambodian law, and they play around with big power behind. For instance, with the striker, union strike, like you said, that striker. So for the union, the term strike, it is simple word, because when they cannot come to collective bargain, and they have to strike. That is legally action that all union members can come to the street, peacefully strike or protest against the company so that they can negotiate with the company. But what is very bad in Cambodia is that the authority and the Ministry of Labor and I think the government itself, they don't understand the union law, and they think that when the worker come to the street to strike, they say that illegal, because the experienced protester, political protesting, they cannot distinguish between political protest and union strike. Union strike is in order to show power, to negotiate with the employer. Like you said, there are 3 or 4, 5 points that worker want to come to collective bargain. So when we talk about collective bargain, in Cambodia term they call Anusanya room, is between union and employer, especially NagaWorld, NagaCorp, cannot come to conclusion. The worker legally come to the street and strike. It means that strike, it can be they show solidarity among their member by not going to work, right? And or by closing the road that can stop what we call a supply chain for the company, or make the company not be able to earn any profit, or not be able to open the door to to receive customer, whatever. That is the nature of strike, as guaranteed by the law that we call labor law in Cambodia. Because in Cambodia, if we talk about labor law, Cambodia is one of the covenant of the United Nations that we call labor organization. We call ILO, International Labor Organization. And that's why government authorities, policemen, and also Ministry of Labor, they should learn more about labor law, about union law. This is what I see. And yeah, I connect between history and to practical labor law that union come to strike. So this should be simple thing that authority cannot go to intervene in this matter. But to what we see from the past until now, authority does not understand at all. They go to arrest labor. They go to disturb the labor, even though they use the excuse of COVID-19, whatever they do. And finally, they arrested and put in jail those 8 leaders, union leaders. And like you say, they just released them recently. Actually, they're not released. They just put them on probation. We call on bail. The term on bail, it means that you just leaving the prison that you're not supposed to be put in prison because you did not commit any crime. Those union leaders, I know the leader, she is Chim Sithaw. Yeah, she is very young and brave union leader, and I think she earned master degrees, and she have very good education background. She have very good job in NagaWorld. She earned the most salary in there because she worked as I think as a technical supervisor, something like that. But when the Naga world or Naga Corp did not treat the worker very well, Chim Sithaw, she sacrificed herself to be elected as the leader. So during her leadership, many workers liked her style, her leadership, and her sacrifice. And they put her in jail without any proof of crime or anything that they should not do it. So this is illegal. Government do this is illegal because they cannot put the union leader in jail because jail is for the criminal acts. And those leaders, they just act according to the law. Nothing wrong with crime at all. So right now they release them, they put them on bail, and they put conditions for them. I think the court and the judge, they are very unjust and they are very improper to do this. It's not good at all. The world is laughing at them. How can you come to accuse those union leaders as public, what we call incitement or whatever? They try to interpret the law. That is not correct. And right now, even though they are released, they put condition on them. And as I know, reported by the VOA today, that the Ministry of Labor have recognized another union from the same NagaWorld. So I want to tell you that in order to create a union, not the ministry will create it. No, it's created by the worker themselves. That is the law. So when the worker, they come to a meeting and they elect leadership and their member become more and more in any company. So after that, they have a meeting and they have agreement so that they just inform the ministry to know that, okay, this company have a union. And union created by the worker themselves, not the ministry create the union. So I think you have to understand this. And the new union, they did not vote. They did not have any election in there. They just sent their name and the Ministry of Labor recognized the union. So this is absolutely wrong. And the ministry did wrong, incorrectly. That's what I can say.
Yes, and also the video that you just see a minutes ago, that was in front of one of the Naga casino. They are not, like you said, they are not allowed to protest at the site of the casino. They are pushing them further away. I think now it's Freedom Park now. I did not see how far it is, but in America, when you do protest, you protest at the site. You protest because you want the management of the company to negotiate, to come to the table, bargaining table, and work it out, and also it to show when you protest or peaceful protest in front of the site, you are asking the customer not to cross the pickup line, and to show that the worker are not happy. Why are you crossing the pickup line? In this case, they're not even allowed them to even come to close. They're not even letting them see the casino basically, and protest somewhere out. So the question is always asked: are they the protester protesting against the authority? Are they protesting against the casino? Because it seemed that the video that I show every day after day and week after weeks since December 18, that's the scene push and shove by authority, and the casino owner is not even coming out. The casino representative is not even coming out to deal with the protester. Of course, they're not going to come out and deal because they don't see them. And that just totally against the law. When what you said about regarding the law of the union
law. Yeah, that's correct, Linda. I just want to add one more thing. The authority does not understand. They took them to the Freedom Park. No, Freedom Park is for political or other reason, not for the union strike. If you talk about the striking, it means that you have to strike in front of the company or inside the company.
Yes.
By gathering the member not to work on that day. They call one-day strike. Like in Canada, there was many strike by the post office worker. So when the day strike come, all of us, like myself, we don't receive letter for months, no letter at all. Because the worker collectively, they come to strike so that they can bargain with the employer until they solve the problem with the bargaining and the letter come to our house. This might make us feel like, okay, workers strike because they demand for wages or for increase something that is the benefit that they want, right? So we feel acceptable that, okay, this few months we don't get the mail because the workers strike. And the government will not intervene. The government just act as the middle person, try to negotiate both sides, so that they don't make people feel guilty, right? And the business, everything like on all the business is not running because of the strike. So you have to understand this. In Cambodia, why you don't educate the Cambodian children to understand about the union strike? And why those policemen does not understand this? So this is typically outdated for those authority and the government leadership.
Yeah, they do educate. I know the striker know what's their rights, what they're supposed to do, but the authority will not let them. Authority will not let them to go even near what the casino. There's 2 casinos in Phnom Penh, and they not even let them near. And when if anybody drive by the casino, people can clearly see hundreds and hundreds of authority just waiting in front of the casino, make sure there's nobody protesting and nobody causing a scene. So the authority basically just looking at it, it's working for the casino, for the casino benefit and not for the striker benefit. And like you said, that's against the law.
Yeah, I just add one thing. This is biased by the authority, and the government and the ministry themselves very biased. So in this scenario, they could not act as a biased person because they take the salary from the people. They should be act like neutrally, right? Because the casino themselves, according to the news that I read, the NagaWorld is the financial supporter of Phnom Penh Post news outlet and Cambodia Daily news outlet. Especially Cambodia Daily is no more in Cambodia, but right now you have Khmer Time and Phnom Penh Post. according to the news that they found out, those news reporters and worker in Phnom Penh Port and in Khmer is I not misunderstand. They got salary from NagaWorld. They got money from NagaWorld. Support them in the bank.
Yeah.
Because why? Because they cannot sell the newsletter. The newsletter is not sellable because nobody buy them. Because after they cracking down on independent medias, nobody order that newsletter or buy that newsletter. So they don't earn any profit. That's why NagaWorld come to support them. And according to what the document said is, I think Hun, I think younger brother Hun Manet, Mani, no, not Hun Mani. He have some share on this company. So maybe Prime Minister family has some profit in the family in the NagaCo. That's why NagaWorld nobody can intervene, even though the High Court, even though the Ministry of Labor, or even though Sophoan cannot intervene with this problem because of Big Brother behind to what the secret document has revealed.
Thank you, Mr. Sophoan. Now let have Mr. Sarom chime in. In 2020, NagaCorp make a profit 102 million, and the reason they cutting the union because they trying to budgeting with they end up with 102 million dollar. Is it correct that is it proper that the NagaCorp budgeting their forecast because of COVID-19 and lay off union worker, basically 365 of them? That's not accepting the compensation package. You think is that correct? Because we live in America, we can see that many company during COVID is either closed down or pause productions because their worker have COVID-19. This case is casino. So the country closed, the country on lockdown. So not many business coming in, not many international traveler traveling in. Is it proper that they cut down and trim down so that way they can make more profit?
Well, welcome again. Hello, the sister Linda and Mr. Sophoan Seng. And hello, audience, friend, and also the Khmer people in the world listening to the CNRP-America TV Khmer Youth Voice for Justice. My name is Sarom Ek and live in the Connecticut. I'm a member of the CNRPA. Yes, about this question. Well, I think the NagaWorld casino, the company they make, they made the business. And they made a profit about around 100 million, right, a year.
102 million to be exact. 102.3 millions in 2020.
Right now they have the plan to cut down the budget in the more than a million, right? 1 million, right? And I think so. If in the lockdown in the during in the COVID and in about the business in the casino, they know the loss, but sometimes in the business in Cambodia and company and ministry and every restaurant and small business sometimes into fear about minister and senior officer of government, and also the if according to the Human Rights Watch report before I forget about more than the 10 7 or 10 years ago, they reported that they freed and released the statement about Hun Sen business, Hun Sen family business, and they had the big business in Cambodia cover in the economy in Cambodia, and sometimes the senior officer in our government and general military and interfere and have the holder in the the business and factory and the company is also in the Cambodia. And right now I have the 3 points. And about the talking the casino strike and why they have no resolution about the casino NagaWorld worker and union. Why they don't have the solution? Because if I have the 3 points, according to Mr. Sophoan, he said that hold on.
So during COVID-19, does it justify that 365 of them got laid off, Mr. Sarom? Is it okay by you that they got laid off because of COVID-19 and because the company make $102 million less, $2 million versus so many million dollars the year before? Is that justified for the people that working $200 or $300 that receiving $200 or $300 a month, and the company, the owner has a 2.9 billion that's worth $2.9 billion?
I think this is problem. Sometimes the political pressure in of Hun Sen government, because the NagaWorld, if we have the separate the business and the government, but sometimes the Hun Sen government interfere internal the business in factory and the companies is also they want control the economy in Cambodia. They're not allowed to the businessmen or business they want to they have the free and business they not allow. Sometimes they made a pressure in their business, and I think they want to lay off the casino NagaWorld, the worker and union. They want to cut down the union, and they they don't need the union because the union association or organization they have to establish for prevention the workers' right and employment rights, and if they have there are many factory or many company the worker and have the dispute or have the conflict with the employer, exactly the union the employee of official they protest and then they bring the and call for the worker to protest about the job and about the law and about the work, and if the any the company or any factory they lay off the worker not the legal or illegal. But if we talking about or we see in the casino NagaWorld worker, they lay off a lot of people. They lay off a lot of people, but we know all the NagaWorld the workers they know have the no problem or mistake. They know have the mistake, but employer NagaWorld they want to the cut down the union. They cut down union, and they didn't they pay for the annual work and annual salary and no pension and no no pay the work for the annual years of salary. And there's sometimes that if you want to lay off the any worker or employee, you have to pay. You according to the labor law. They have to, when will you start the working, you have to make the contract, right? But in Cambodia, sometimes many the company or many the business they know practice the labor law. They don't care labor law, but and also the Hun Sen government too. Hun Sen government sometimes the into when the employer of the company or factories is also okay.
Thank you, Mr. Sarom.
Yep.
Talking about the law, Mr. Sophoan, what's the benefit of being in a union? Because this is and regarding this whole deal, they want, from reading, that they want to eliminate union, and we know from this country union help worker help find solution when something's going on. What is the benefit of being in a union?
For me, I would encourage all those workers to be the member of the union. So, okay, we just put it simply speaking. The worker can have freedom of choice. They can pick to be a union because they have to pay membership, right? Or they can pick not to have union. But the benefit of the union is you not only protecting yourself, but you protecting other worker as well, especially employer. Every employer, they want high profit for their business. So that's why the margin gain, they have to make it profit. That's why they don't pay fair wages, they don't pay seniority, they don't pay maternity, or many things that they can violate the law because you're not a union member. But when you become a union member, you pay monthly fee because union need money. Like the NagaWorld, the union led by Chum Sitho, why those 1,000 workers can come out to the street for months? Because the money that they collected about 10 years ago, they have keep those money, and when the strike come, they pay them about 60% of their salary. That's why I heard a spokesperson from the Ministry of Justice said that there are some foreigner back behind to give them money. They make accusation without having any knowledge on the union. That is hilarious, you know. For me, it is hilarious because union, they earn, they collect membership fee, and there's financial management and accountant. They keep those money. Like in US, I visited Las Vegas. Las Vegas is you know, Las Vegas is entertainment city, right? They have the best union in the world because those workers, yeah, they have very good collective agreement. And when they earn money from union member, they invest those money by building hospital, building school for unions. Union that become a member, when they go to the union hospital, they pay less than a private hospital, you know. So this is how the money that they collected from a worker, they use it to give back to worker, and they use it to investment to protect the worker rights and to protect the law. So for a company that a worker become member union, they feel like, okay, their job have more security, yeah, and safety. Even though the employer want to fire them, they cannot, because the union will protect you, will fight for you. Okay, without due process, they cannot fire you from job. But if you don't have union, they can fire you anytime. Nobody protect you. So this is a goodness to become a union member. I can make it short.
Thank you, Mr. Sophoan. I know this is the number for 2021, had gross gambling revenue of 223.5 million for 2021. So there's no mistaking their money is going up, and also there's no mistaking that they are building a third one, a third casino in Cambodia. I'm not sure about you, Mr. Sophoan. If I'm short on cash and I'm trying to save money, I wouldn't go out and buy never build a casino, right?
No, I have my business running lows. I don't expand it. they don't use that good excuse. You know, in 2020 they earn 102 million, and 2021 200 million, and 2022 this year maybe 500 million. Who knows, right? But the thing is, Linda, you have to know, no auditor behind that. So the number just come by themselves. In Cambodia, you know, right? Not in the US or in Canada. In US, in Canada, business cannot fake their profit. No, they cannot fake it because the government, they have good mechanism, tactic to control it. But in Cambodia, company, we can say money laundry. Okay, so yes. NagaWorld have conducted money laundry. That's why European Union put Cambodia as I think yellow color, right? Because one of the worst country that have money laundry, black market behind. So you know, the casino business, they run by money laundry. That's why they earn money. Sometimes they have no choice. They have to claim their profit so that the government, what we call the authority, the power, politician have profit behind. They take the illegal money to legalize in Cambodia. That's why they have to claim it is as a profit. Actually, it is illegal money. You know, if we talk about illegal money, it is very dangerous. Because in Canada and US, you can stop crime by anticipating where they get the resources from, correct? But in Cambodia, you cannot stop crime because you encourage them to have resources to be legalized. So this is very dangerous for this country, for sure. So casino is just the sideshow in the front, but in the back door, they do money laundering.
Yeah, and NagaCorp is not the only casino in Cambodia. There's many, like growing like mushroom, and also like CNRPA as well. So this is only one of the issue that brought up. One of the issue that currently the worker is on strike, peaceful strike, with NagaCorp, and you can, for sure, we all know, like Mr. Sophoan said, casino is dirty money, dirty business, dirty activity, criminal activity, going in, going out casino. So NagaCorp is not the only casino in Cambodia. It's repeat all day long in different casino, different province. Yeah, so it's a serious issue if you're looking at it from money laundering, and you're looking at casino, this NagaCorp that make millions and millions, hundreds, not just million, hundreds and hundreds of million every single years. And at the same time, they cannot afford to even negotiate for 365 of their union worker to be properly paid. And that just a situations. Also, we have the 8 union leaders that released yesterday. Out of those 8, a total of 11. That's total of 11. So 3 more still in jail. Those 3 was is currently in jail due to COVID-19, and I mean violating COVID-19 rule and regulations. And I'm not sure if you pay attention to my video that I keep playing. I don't know where they get their doctor or their nurse from, but they are pretty brutal. I don't believe any doctor in America or Canada is pushing or shoving or dragging people, but in Cambodia, you see the people in blue outfit. They're so afraid of COVID-19. At the same time, they're pushing, grabbing, and just push those strike. Mr. Sarom, now that those 8 people, 8 union leader is out of jail, what are you hoping that? What are you hoping for the solution of this to end soon, or is it going to be dragging out some more, or what are you hoping for?
Well, I know I read it, the news, and after they released the 8 union employee and officer, and one of them, according to the Sowandi, who is one of the 8, he was released on Monday. She told them that OFA Khmer service, and she said that in the group plan to continue and the union despite the time in the jail. But he said that our stand is that the union has to be reinstated, and the workers who want to work should be allowed the return. But according to hold on, Cambodian, the Center for Human Rights, they quote to the strider and the worker, they want to the whole of flashcard that during the protests outside the National Assembly building after several union members were arrested in Phnom Penh. But about them, according to the Ri Sowandi again, she said, our stand is that the union has to be reinstated, and the workers who want to work should be allowed to return in the working. But they demand if the NagaWorld company they had to lay off the worker and our union, they had to pay proper salary and proper pension. But sometimes the employer of NagaWorld has political pressure from the Hun Sen government, and they don't want to pay for a proper salary wage for the worker and the union employee.
So you are hoping that they would accept the 365 people back to work and negotiating, so that way like it's original why they striking in the first place is to reinstate the 365 worker who refuse to take the compensation package, and also demand like related like servant wage and contract to. So is that what you also agree that it should be as well?
Yeah, I agree. And it's also, if the employer and the company and the factory, the employer, they have to practice the law and the labor law, and and they take care the contract about worker. Sometimes that they abuse the contract. When we will start a new job with a company or with factory, you have to make the contract, right? But the Cambodia, sometimes they don't care about the contract. If they want to lay off another the worker, employee, they don't care the practice contract and the law. They fight and they with someone, they don't pay nothing. Example, the NagaWorld right now, they try why they had to the strike demonstration in the front of the NagaWorld company, because they lay off no illegal, no pension, no pay or properly the salary. If you have to lay off the someone, you have to pay. If you make a lot of the profit, you don't lose. You have the profit. You have to pay your employee, your worker. But in Cambodia, sometimes everything interfere from the government, and the employee or worker in the factory in the company, and social organization, association, too, if they have the problem with the dispute or the fight the worker, the fight employee, they no pay nothing.
Thank you, Mr. Sarom. Yes, I agree. It's a Wild Wild West in Cambodia. The same question to you, Mr. Sophoan. Now that the 8 union leader got released, I know it's basically still in jail, just no wall, and still under under their restrictions. What are you hoping that will happen in the next few days regarding this protest with NagaCorp?
There's some political landscape in changing of political landscape in Cambodia, because Hun Sen might come to the US, so might be a lot of pressure from the Biden administration, and he might come or he might not come because he's afraid something because of the court legal court conviction in France. He might come or he might not come, I don't know, but there are a lot of pressure from US, from European Union. And there's recently there's a big conference between the United Nations to reiterate or to remind Cambodia about application of the United Nations Covenant about respecting human rights in Cambodia. And they also talk about labor rights, because labor rights is part of human rights. And also some other pressure. That's why they released the 8 workers, I think. But during this releasing, they try to make a fake union so that they can demolish this union, right? Because in Cambodia, as I know, there are 2 different unions. First union is genuine union, but the second union is fake union. Why I said fake union? Because they just register with the ministry, but they don't have member in the company. And some of the union leaders, they siding with the government. They are not independent. That's why we see a lot of words like independent unions. So I tell everybody, if you want to be a member of the union, go to independent unions. Don't go to government-backed union. Because I know some of the union, they don't work in the company. They are not working in the company, and also they don't have any election in the company. But they create a union through the Ministry of Labor in order to neutralize the independent unions. So this is the case in Cambodia. It's a dirty trick, you know. And for the 8 worker, according to what I can see and I can predict, is that there will be a way for negotiation, but it lose some, gain some. But at least they have to accept those workers go back to work and compensate the demanded salary. They might give up some severity compensation, but they accept to go back to work. You know, as I am the company employer, I like to create union. That's why in Cambodia, the struggling of the union creation is that employer does not understand the union. They always see union as the enemy. This is the misconception, you know. Actually, like in the US and Canada, most employers, they like to having union because there will be productivity in the company. In Cambodia too, if the owner is from Western country, they can create union easily. But if the owner from China, no, it's hard for them to create union. And like NagaWorld or NagaCorp, the owner is ethnic Chinese and he's Malaysian and he's Cambodian. That's why he does not understand. He doesn't like union. He might see that union is his enemy. Not at all. Union is not enemy. Union is just a collective of people, of workers. They come together and they work harder. They're more disciplinary. Yeah? You have to understand this. And
it's the enemy to his pocket.
Yeah. And when they work more productive, the company will earn more profit, right? You have to think in this way. And if you respect human rights, you think about the dignity of worker. They have 2 hands and 2 feet to work to earn a living. So you give them good salary, you should be proud to see them progress, correct? Not to give them little money and you earn from them a lot. That's not correct. And for NagaWorld, I think it is a symbolizing of other unions as well. Because in Cambodia, seen labor union leader Chia Vichia, he is the hero of union leader. He was killed because of his working hard to protect the benefits of government labor during that period. So you guys have to be grateful for Chia Vichia, who has paved the concrete road for you all. So you have to struggle more. You have to fight for worker, fight for dignity of worker in Cambodia. And you have to expand not only from NagaWorld casino, garment factory worker that we have about, I think, 700,000 workers working in a garment factory. And European Union give good advices to Hun Sen government. If you come back to democracy, respect human rights, they might give you back 20%. So it's good news, right? But you have to strengthen the labor union and you have to respect the labor law. That's why NagaCorp, I think they come to a dry track when there's more pressure from the Western countries. And especially Hun Sen government right now running out of national coffer budget. So they need more money to continue power, right? So they exchange something with the union, with the workers. And I think all those workers, like including you have like casino worker, tourism worker, you have garment worker, you have construction workers. And in the future, I think we should have like teacher union, like Romchon. He is a teacher association. So the government tried to stop him not to expand membership, even though who become a Romchon member, they try to deprive them from teaching or from school or whatever. They might accuse them of opposition party, whatever. In Cambodia, under Hun Sen leadership, you can be stereotyped as an enemy or as an opposition member, even though the civil society, right? So this is absolutely not human brain. It is our contact, because they cannot accuse people by just political tendency, right? In democratic society, you can join with any political party that is guaranteed by the Cambodia Constitution. But Cambodia leader like Mr. Hun Sen, his brain is not in that way yet. His brain is still like 20 years ago. That's why he had to update his thinking again, right? To accept the reality and to accept that, okay, right now everything is very diverse, right? People can choose political party. People can choose to live. People can choose to work. And people can choose everything. That is freedom. That is human dignity, right? So don't accuse easily as union worker, like even though Chum Sito got photo with Musuhua, and they might say that, oh, Chum Sito, the NagaWorld union leader, she is siding with Musuhua. And recently I heard like 2 ladies, when the international transparency, they try to document like greatest women, 10 women of Cambodia, and there are 2 women come to reject it, not to accept it. Oh, that's so hilarious, you know. Why Cambodian women like that? I don't think all Cambodian women are like that.
It should be an honor. It should be an honor to be on the 10 most influential women of Cambodia, but instead it's sad reality that people would consider business, would consider their association what luck they get for signing with the regime.
Yeah, you know, I cannot imagine when they go back home how she said to her children, especially girl kid, right? To her daughter, she might say, "Oh, my daughter, because Musu a politician, I will not join the group, and you have to listen me. in the future you have to do like me too. This is very bad mother. I think this is very bad mother and very bad Cambodian woman, not symbolizing Angkor Wat Apsara at all. You see Angkor Wat Apsara, one hand carry kid and one hand carry gun, go with husband, right? You see the picture on the Bayon wall. But those two ladies, they like, I don't know what they're coming from. Maybe when they was young, their parents punished them too much. That's why they have trauma. And when they see Musuho picture in the 10 women, they just shy away because they might afraid that the government might accuse them or take away corruption money from them. Because maybe they earn a living by a corrupt money, who know, right? So this is hilarious for me.
Thank you, Mr. Sophoan. I really appreciate the history of GVG, and I do want to remind our audience, also remind workers in Cambodia, the reason why we have minimum wage and the reason why we have union because of GVG. And I know right now, I believe the monthly minimum fee of Cambodia is probably $203, and that's coming from a long way from GVG time, and because of him, the garment worker, the factory worker, and all the casino worker as well was able to receive minimum wage because he said that, and he paved the way for Cambodian children to be able to have great working conditions. So thank you for the reminder, Mr. Sophoan. And also we actually over time today, and thank you so much. I know Mr. Sarom is running out because he passed his work time, but thank you, Mr. Sophoan, and a really great discussion on current event in Cambodia, which is the casino, the Naga strike. And like I said, it started since December 18 and now it's March 15, and throughout since December 18 there's no even though the striker, they want peaceful, they want to be able to sit, they want to be able to make their voice heard, but unfortunately they were not able to do it in front of the Naga casino, both sides, and also being pushed and shoved by the authority, the city authority, the commune authority. So back and forth, it seemed like they are fighting, they are having a fight with the Naga Corp, and instead of fighting with Naga Corp, they are fighting with authority. So that is a situation at the regime right now. And in addition to that, their union leader got arrested. So since they are released, I am not clearly released with condition, released to be living in a without wall, but still under restrictions. I'm hoping for negotiations and hoping that the Naga Corp, came out and negotiate, because right now they're not saying anything. And of course they're not saying anything because they're not seeing or they're not hearing the protester at all. So hopefully it's ends soon, because it's been a while, and the regime need to stop protecting the casino.
Yeah, I just want to have some word at the end that I really am proud. I'm very proud of all those girls, all those daughters, those women, because you can see the protester like from Naga Corp or NagaWorld, the leadership, most of them, 95% are women, and they are very brave, and it is unacceptable for the authority to shower or to push or to punch those women, and throw in the car, throw in the bus, and like Kim Thor has those authority like arrested her very violently and disrespectful to women, to Cambodian women. This is not acceptable at all, and I can tell the world that those women are the symbolic of fighting for dignity of all Cambodian workers in the future. you are the chia. So we have millions of chia in Cambodia right now.
Thank you, Mr. Sophoan, and thank you, Mr. Sarom, for being here tonight. I appreciate it, and thank you for giving us your opinion, your facts, and also introduce our audience regarding NagaCorp. So thank you so much both for tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, our audience, for being here with us, for being here with me. You have choices, like I said from beginning, but you are here with me. So thank you so much. Thank you for our dedicated fan here every Tuesday. So please do not forget to help to sign and share petitions ending impunity for justice in Cambodia at change.org. Your support and your share and your teaching people to do that, to sign the petition is very important. So please help to share and also help to sign the petitions at change.org. Thank you so much, and hope everyone have a great week, a good evening, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye.